One. 96.7 KCAL rocks. It is Monday, and it is time to talk some sports with our guy, Pep, on Blue Monday, Pep. I'm feeling the
Well, it
blues.
depends. I mean, yeah, for you Seahawk fans, Patrick, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. A tough loss against the 49ers over the weekend in the NFL wild card round, first round of the playoffs. But for all the Charger fans out there, man, we have seen some classic NFL games, some of the greatest comebacks in NFL history, including that Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl. The Chargers now part of that infamy as they had a 27-0 lead against Jacksonville in their playoff game, and the Chargers still found a way to lose. 31-30 was the final score as the Jaguars moved on. Patrick, I told you last week, I thought of all these NFL playoff games in the first round and the wild card round, all the home teams would win except the Jacksonville Jaguars. I really thought the Lightning Bolts were going to get past Jacksonville in advance. I was wrong, and a lot of people are pointing at the head coach Brandon Staley that he was the reason why the Chargers could not finish the job. I mean, what do you think about that epic collapse by the Chargers?
Yeah, I mean, coaching is easy to blame when it comes to being able to finish the game. That is an attitude, and the team takes on the attitude of the coach. And it's like you said, he's the one who's getting the blame on not being able to finish games, and not to mention some of the decision-making that he does. But I'm with you. I mean, do you know how hard it was to explain to my children how when Geno Smith fumbled and there was that turnover in the 49er Seahawks games, how pivotal just that turnover was in changing the game? And then we watched 4 interceptions, and then he comes all the way back. I'm like, okay, well, sometimes don't give up, kids.
Perseverance, kids.
Yes.
Don't give up. Follow your
Right.
dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what Jacksonville did. I mean, if you're a Chargers fan, you thought, man, this game is in the bag. In fact, you're probably thinking, wow, we are looking really good. We're playing our best football of the season right now in the playoffs. I think we've got a chance. And for it to just unravel, just unbelievable.
And it's like you said, it does go to coaching. Brandon Staley is getting blamed. And I mean, look at the halftime interview with Doug Peterson. He was like, just got to start chipping away.
Yeah.
I mean, he did not seem nervous at all. And see, there's the coaching right there. And they certainly knew they could come back and believed that they could come back. And they did.
Yeah, I mean, remember, Doug Peterson was the head coach of the Eagles that beat Tom Brady and the Patriots. Nick Foles was his quarterback. At least on paper, the Eagles were not as good as the New England Patriots, and they still found a way to win. So he's the right coach for that team, who might not have the talent as some of the other teams are playing, but they're going to beat you anyways.
Yeah, and look at Jacksonville a year ago. What a difference a year makes. And coaching, again.
Yeah. Speaking of coaching, now the Chargers are looking around thinking, well, is Brandon Staley our guy? Justin Herbert our quarterback? He's in his prime. Like, we don't want to miss this window right now. So everyone's kind of pointing towards Sean Payton, the former head coach of the New Orleans Saints. He's out there doing the whole broadcast TV thing. He's available. Could Sean Payton be the next head coach of the Chargers to get him over the hump and make the playoff or make the Super Bowl?
He's right there in the Fox studios, right there in L.A.
He's
looming right over Staley for sure. And you could hear it in the broadcast, man. He's itching to get back into coaching. I mean, he even said, he goes, I'm jealous of Pete Carroll. He's chewing his gum. He's having fun. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I mean, he sounds like he wants back on that sideline.
You know what? And there's going to be a number of teams. Well, there's already a couple of teams that need a head coach. So I think Sean Payton, if he wants to come back, he's going to have his pick. And I think the Chargers would be very attractive. I mean, again, they've got a great young quarterback. They're built to win right now. He could step right in and get them, close to or maybe to a Super Bowl right away. I know Kansas City and Buffalo and all those teams will have something to say about it, but he'd jump into a great situation.
Yeah, best quarterback situation for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with the Chargers, man. But that was an epic loss against Jacksonville. So Jacksonville, they will move on to the playoffs to play the Chiefs, who had the first round bye as the top seed in the AFC. And I will say this, Patrick, as we get to the other AFC and NFC scores here. I thought this wild card weekend was going to kind of be a dud. I was like, these matchups aren't very intriguing. I think we're going to have some games that are maybe not blowouts, but the teams are going to win by 10, 14 points. I was wrong, man. All the games were for the 49ers and Seahawks, but all the games are really close down to the wire, including the Bills holding off the Dolphins. I didn't see that happening. And the Bengals having to fight their way past the Ravens. I didn't see that happening either.
I mean, it does live up to the name. Wild Card Weekend was wild.
It was, and I did not expect it. I was already looking ahead to the divisional round. I'm like, dude, we're going to have some really juicy games this upcoming weekend. And I made the mistake of just looking past these games, and we're not done yet. We've got one tonight. But, man, they surprised me. So it was, and over in the NFC, too, the Giants beating the Minnesota Vikings. Here I was last week just pumping up the Vikings, saying, hey, don't discount the Vikings. They're pretty good. They might make a run. They've got a ton of talent on offense. Man, I was wrong, man. Daniel Jones, I don't know what I'm missing, but Daniel Jones, the quarterback of the Giants, everyone knocks him. He sure looked like a franchise quarterback yesterday in that win on the road in Minnesota.
And then here we are back again at coaching. Brian Daboll has completely turned it around in New York, and Kirk Cousins shrinks once again. How much does it suck to go out with the whimper when it's 4th and 8 and he throws a 3-yard pass and it gets tackled? It's tough to go out like that.
I know. I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know. I mean, you can point your fingers in a lot of different directions, but the Minnesota Vikings, I feel like they're always like right there, and they, again, you look at their receivers, you look at their running backs, they've got some really good players. But yeah, the Giants and those no-name, besides Saquon Barkley, those no-name offensive guys, they found a way to win, so credit to them, man. It feels weird. Like, what year is this? The New York Giants are actually good again and relevant. So
yeah.
So the Giants move on. They beat the Minnesota Vikings. And, of course, Patrick, the 49ers and the Seahawks. San Francisco beating Seattle for the 3rd time this year. And I watched the game. I mean, that first half, I was on the edge of my seat. The Seahawks came out swinging. I'm like, hey, they're not backing down. Like, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year.
They really got me excited for that first half. I was like, I cannot believe we are in this game against this defense and all these offensive weapons. The huge pass to DK Metcalf. I was like, my God, we need to land big punches like that. And then I'm thinking, Pete Carroll is a second half guy. This is working in our hands. And that's just not what happened. If anything, the 49ers really remembered, hey, you know what? We're the 49ers. They remembered who they were, and they clubbed us.
Yeah, I mean, 49ers won 41-23. So if that 49er defense is doing its thing and that offense can put 40 points on the board in a game, they're going to be tough to stop. I don't care who you are. So, and again, 49er fan over here, you can call it is what it is. But they sure look, at least on both sides of the football, they sure look pretty good right now. And I don't know who's going to be that roadblock between them and the Super Bowl.
Brock Purdy almost threw for 400 yards.
I know.
Bananas. The kid.
Third string quarterback, man. It still doesn't make any sense that Brock Purdy is like this good right now.
And I mean, here we go again. Coaching. Obviously, Shanahan knows what he's doing. He's down to the 3rd string quarterback. Doesn't skip a beat. That's coaching.
No, and the 49ers, again, you could say, well, anyone could quarterback this team. Like, they've got so many great players, but still, man, we see other teams with bad quarterbacks, and they're not going anywhere. So Brock Purdy, all these teams that passed on Brock Purdy, right? I mean, he was Mr. Irrelevant, the last player in the NFL draft. Every team passed on him, except for the 49ers in the very end. And, man, who would have thought? It's just weird. Just how weird how an NFL and Trey Lance was the quarterback with the 49ers when they lost on the road to the Chicago Bears, the worst team in the NFL, in the first game of the year. And you're thinking, oh man, this team is not going to be very good. High hopes, and then look where we are now.
It's like a movie, man. Mr. Irrelevant to relevant. It's insane.
Get your popcorn ready, man. This is the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, you can't write this stuff.
No,
you can't.
It's so bizarre. It is bizarre.
Yeah.
And as a 49er fan, it's fun, but it is weird how it unfolded like this. And, wild card weekend, Patrick, not done yet. One game tonight, Tampa Bay and Dallas, America's team versus Tom Brady. And that winner will advance to play the 49ers in the divisional round. So I loved it, man. We had Saturday football, Sunday triple header, Monday night football, which is going to have a huge TV audience, and we'll see if Tom Brady can keep that streak alive of winning the Super Bowl every other year.
I love Monday night football and the fact that they're giving us another MNF with Tom Brady against the Cowboys. This is going to be awesome no matter what happens. This is just like the national championship game. Something cool is going to happen. If Tom Brady beats the Cowboys, my goodness, we'll be going bananas on Thursday when we talk about it. And then if the Cowboys advance, it'll be kind of like finally, So something's going to happen. That is the beauty of the NFL playoffs.
Yeah, either way, something dramatic is going to happen tonight. We're going to be talking about, whoa, I can't believe Tom Brady's still in the hunt. Or, hey, America's team, Dallas, maybe they're going to flip the switch. Maybe the Cowboys are going to make a run here. So either way, whatever happens tonight, it's going to be interesting going forward for the winner of this game tonight. And finally, Patrick, NBA news. We haven't talked a lot of Lakers or Clippers yet, but we will in the next couple of weeks and months. But LeBron James passed 38,000 career points last night. He's now less than 400 behind the all-time leader, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So if LeBron stays healthy and he stays at this pace, he will become number one all-time in scoring in the NBA sometime later this season.
How crazy is it? Because, Pep, you and I are around the same age. I mean, when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar set that record, I mean, he played forever. It really seemed like there's no way this will ever be challenged. Remember, he was I mean, look how long it's lasted. It's lasted until now. It's taken an amazing feat by LeBron James to do it. But, I mean, he had a 10,000-point lead for a long time on the leader. You know what I mean? But that goes to show you. And LeBron's not a huge three-point maker. No. You know what I mean? So a lot of these points are hard-earned point by LeBron. Props to LeBron, dude. Scoring, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's put a lot of miles. And remember, he came straight out of high school. He's had a long, long NBA career already. But, yeah, he's going to become the all-time leader in scoring. But, unfortunately, he did it last night. He surpassed 38,000 career points, and the Lakers still lost. He had a great game. He went off. And the Lakers still lost, so that might be the theme this season for the Lakers. It already is, but maybe they can fix it. But that's the theme right now. LeBron's going to be great, and they're still going to lose.
It really has been the theme. We'll catch up on all this stuff on your Thursday, especially the foosball stuff. We love that the most. Pep, tell me how to get your stuff.
Oh, I love me some foosball. Get my stuff on Inland Sports. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel. You can go check it out right now. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That's Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep.